everyone says you shouldn't save and quit while your storage system is running. You should always make sure your storage system is shut down before you unload it, else it might break. But how does it break? And is it something I should worry about for my own storage system project? Welcome to Designing a Storage System, Episode 4. Right here I have the multi-item sorter v4, which will be one of our test subjects in today's video. I have 4 categories of it set up, each configured to sort a different color of blocks. And then over here I have a sequential shulker unloader and the modified version of SamosTheSage's sequential shulker unloader that I showed in episode 2 of Designing a Storage System. Alright, let's go ahead and start the test. Gonna start the sequential shulker unloader. And then over here with the multi-item sorter, we can see that all of these chests are empty. And of course we saw earlier that each one of these categories are properly configured. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this on. Now we are going to go over to this minecart here, hop in, set render distance to 8, and sit back and relax while the multi-item sorter v4 and sequential shulker loader are subjected to repeated unloading and reloading. After just a few minutes of testing, we got results. The multi-item sorter v4 over here. Remember how each category is configured to a set of colors? Well, let's check the red category right here. Yikes. The multi-item sorter v4 unfortunately suffers from missorts when it is randomly unloaded. So when you unload a multi-item sorter v4, there's a good chance that the items currently going through it are going to get missorted into the category below. And if we go down the categories, we can see these are affected. The yellow wasn't really affected because by this point and such, there wasn't many items getting to the final category. And all we got is white wool at the output. Now, item missorts by themselves aren't necessarily the end of the world. Annoying, yes, but not really a big deal. Now this, on the other hand, is a big deal. Now each one of these categories, you can see I got 64 of each item in here, and that is because that if you randomly unload into a multi-item sorter v4, there's a very small chance and such that your filter item will end up getting sucked out of chest and not put back in. It's pretty rare, but if, say for example, you only had the recommended 2 items in here, all you'd have to do is lose one of them, and then this category would be vulnerable to breaking. Now the good news is that seems to be all that breaks on the multi-item v4. I have been checking the droppers and no items have been getting stuck in the droppers that I can observe, so yeah, it seems to work perfectly fine. There's no sort of state breakages except for, well, the filter item issue, but that can be mitigated by just having extra filter items. And yeah, if you're okay with the occasional missorts when you save and quit while this thing's running, then yeah, you probably don't really need to worry about it too much. That said, should you turn off your multi-item sorter v4 when you save and quit from your single player? Yes. Is it the end of the world if you don't do it? No. I wish I could say the same for the sequential shulker unloader. Right here we can see we got this one slice that's active. It's supposed to be active. But there's no shulker box here. When it's active, it's supposed to be unloading a shulker box. There's no shulker box. No shulker box in the dispenser. None in the hopper. They're down here in the dropper. They're never going to get up here into the hopper because the slice is active. And the slice is active because, well, it should be active when unloading a shulker, but there is no shulker there. And as a result, it's backed up the entire system and sorting has grinded to a halt. There's another variant of this issue that can happen. As you can see, the sequential shulker unloader slice here is inactive, but it shouldn't be. And the dispenser is unfortunately flooded with shulker boxes. So yeah, the only way to fix this is as a player just coming in here and manually fixing it. There's nothing the system can do, it's just broken until a player intervenes. It appears the issue I'm experiencing here can be traced back to a Minecraft bug report posted over 5 years ago. MC89146. Pistons forget update when being reloaded. And if we check the comments on the bug report, it appears that this doesn't only affect pistons. Wonderful! Given the use of pistons and the high degree of sate that the sequential shulker unloader here has, I can't say I'm surprised if it was hit hard by this. But do you know what component of my sword system has the most amount of sate? The shulker box sorter. This thing heavily uses pistons, and the particular shulker sorter design I'm utilizing here is very heavy in the amount of sate it uses. Right here I have 4 slices of the current shulker sorter design I'm planning on using. Just to recap and such, well, I may have never mentioned it before, this is a modified version of a SamosTheSage shulker box sorter. And as you can see right here, it's sorting just fine. And the entire thing is contained inside a single chunk, just for reference. But if we were to fly away and unload it while it's running, and then we're going to go ahead and reload it, unload it, reload it again. And then by this point, yep, there we go. It is broken. And yeah, as you can see, when this thing breaks, it's absolutely catastrophic. When one slice ends up breaks, it ends up typically breaking the next slice and the next slice, and now the whole ends of shulker sorter right here completely borked. So with these reliability issues, does that mean my entire reasoning for containing the shulker sorter within inside a single chunk is completely negated? Yeah, basically. Presumably, if it is the MC89146 bug, I do hope that at some point it will get fixed, and for that reason, I'm still going to keep my shulker sorter contained within inside a single chunk. But yeah, if you haven't already, please, 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 go upvote MC89146, and hopefully Mojang will fix it at some point. You know, back when I first started into this sword system project, I didn't actually think unloading stuff was going to be that big of an issue. But these recent tests have certainly opened my eyes into much more as to just how fragile sword tech can be if you unload it at the wrong moment. So of course, for the sword system itself, I'm going to need some form of sword system control. Typically that just comes in the form of an on-off lever. I am considering perhaps having a system that's a bit more involved and such, but I won't get into that for this video. One thing that I'm now considering with my sword system project design that I haven't been considering in the past, but now that I know I'm going to be turning it off a lot more often, is shutdown time. For example, NTEC's Not Essential Swords takes upwards of 4 minutes to fully and completely shut down. Yikes. At least for this sword system, projections are probably around the 45-second to minute mark. It would be nice if I could improve that, so I'll see if there's anything I can do to facilitate into more quickly shutting down my sword system when I hit the off switch. Remember last episode when I was showing this hull design and how I commented that I would like to eliminate a double chest and hopper here if I could? Well, I've actually found a way to do it and such. It requires me to get a little fancy with the water streams here in order to properly continue them so that way no overflowed shulker boxes are lost. But it is possible, so yeah, I'll probably be going for this right here. Unless I can think of any other end of improvements, this will probably be the final end of design for my storage hall. And because I know people are going to bring it up if I don't mention it here, yes, I'm aware of the one-wide tileable configuration of the multi-item sorter V4, where essentially you just have 2 sets of multi-item sorter V4s above, giving the illusion of one-wide tileable multi-item sorter. And hey, this is actually pretty cool, and from a player interface standpoint, very, very nice. But for my sword system project, it's unlikely I'm going to rip up what I've already made in favor of switching over to a configuration similar to this. I just simply got too much time invested already in like the optimization of my existing storage hall design that to spend more time optimizing a new Sword Hall design, and so with this kind of configuration, it would just take a while, and it's at this point, time is really my enemy here and such. As much as people will say and such, like, oh, just keep working on your sword system until, you know, you get it right and such, and you're happy with it. I mean, that's all fine and good, but we're coming up on almost the 2-year mark since I started working on my sword system project. Been working on it on and off for almost 2 years. That's quite a lot. And my single player world itself is coming up on its 4-year anniversary. Simply put, I do not want to end the year of 2021 without having a sword system built to my single player. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I've been working on into the new performance testing video and such after like over a year since the last one I've uploaded, and the next episode of World Update I've been working on as well. Unfortunately, things have been going quite slowly, so I don't know when those will be out. Anyways, until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.